Hello! I am Joe Carletto, and I am bringing you another Codecast, where I talk about apps I've built and code I've written. This time I want to showcase the first production app I ever worked on. This is Canopy, found at canopyapps.com. It is a language e-learning platform targeted at med students and medical professionals. This project is kind of my baby. I spent over a year working on it, and I can probably say that it's been generating some revenue for a while now, which I think is a pretty cool milestone. Now, unlike TrendWatch, which I showed in my last video, this project has a very large portion of it written in JavaScript, over half actually. It's kind of funny because going into this project, we really had no idea we would be writing a JavaScript app at all, and it ended up being such a huge part. Now, this is because the actual student interface is a kind of one-page app built on top of Backbone.js, and actually the backend for our content manager who creates the course material was also built in this manner. So I'm going to start and actually showcase parts of both of these interfaces for you. First, I'm going to go into the course front end, and you can even play around with this yourself, no account needed, by clicking on the instant free trial button on the home page. The courses are organized in a tree-like structure, which you can view on the left. Each course has many lessons, which have many sections, which themselves have many slides. Slides are the actual exercise pages, of which there are about 20 different types, and I'm going to quickly go through several of these. These first couple slides are just presentation slides, video and text and conversation you can listen to. This one here is a drag and drop, like so. You can check your answers, show correct answers, restart. Moving on. This is a flashcards exercise, pretty similar to other flashcard interfaces out there. Also a study mode. You can say if you know it or if you don't. In this one, you need to match phrases, English to Spanish. And this one is a simple fill in the blank. There are also quizzes for reviewing what you've learned. These reuse the same kind of interfaces as used in the slides, but you actually get a score that gets recorded. So I'm going to select a few of these here. Submit. Obviously I'm going to get a terrible score, but that's okay. 0%. Yeah, so here's your score. It also shows you some topics that you can go back to and review, and actually they'll give you some links to slides where you can go do that. So I can click on this, review, etc. Let's look now at how all this content is managed. Clicking one of these slides will bring up its edit page. In this case, we have a static text slide organized into tables. I can quickly change the text, add rows or columns, and alter all these display options all in real time. By reusing the same Backbone views, we can achieve a very user-friendly experience for our content managers by showing how it would actually look on the front end. I can also quickly add or delete slides and reorder all these. All great benefits of using a one-page app type architecture. Alright, on to some of the good stuff. I want to talk a bit about how things are loaded from the server and how routing works. When the page loads, we already have the course and lesson data in here. Everything else, however, is loaded asynchronously as needed. If we didn't do this, this list could have nearly 1,000 nodes, which completely breaks jQuery sortable, for instance, and it's just plain unnecessary. Here is our router class. Let's look at what happens when we go to one of our slide page routes. First, we'll run a function I've named beforeFilter. This makes sure our course tree is loaded and that we're not already trying to load another page. Once we've done that, we'll need to load the slide and all of its children. After displaying a loading indicator, we first load the slide from our server. Ideally, we'd load both the slide and its children questions at the same time, but right now this is done in 2 steps. We tell our course model to fetch the slide by giving it the IDs of the slide, of its parent section, and of its parent lesson. If we just gave the slide's ID, it would be much harder to traverse the tree and find the right node. The server would have to take care of all that. So this function getNode runs recursively until it finds the right node. If, for example, the lesson has not loaded all of its children's sections yet, it will query those, and once loaded, continue with the search. Once we find the right node, the past callback gets executed. On the server, of course, we need to send the JSON representation of these objects. I've defined these JSON structures in the model like so. If I were to do this again though, I'd like to try something like JBuilder, which gives you a cleaner DSL for declaring these structures. While I'm in the slide model, I want to show you how I've used a simple module to add behavior that is reused across multiple models. In this case, lessons, sections, and slides. Each of these models can be sorted under their parent, and I want them to automatically set their ordering when saved. The orderable module assumes each object has a parent and a children method, so that's why I'm using alias attribute here. Here's the module itself. Now when I save a slide, its order attribute will be set as one higher than that of any of its sibling slides. When I'm testing this in my specs, it makes sense to use shared examples, since I want to test this in other models as well. Alright, I want to thank you again for watching. This has only been a small glimpse into the inner workings of Canopy, but I do want to keep these videos short and sweet for you. And if you haven't seen my Codecast on TrendWatch yet, I encourage you to check that out on my channel. Bye!